Hey, what's going on, YouTube? So today, the album that I ordered last month from Vinyl Me Please came in, and the record is ASAP Ferg, Always Strive and Prosper. And the what's interesting is the record, both records actually, because it's a double LP, it came with a clear vinyl, which is pretty cool. When I opened the package, the one thing I noticed is one song seems to be absent from what I heard on Spotify is that uh, Migos feature, which is Back Hurt, and it's not a big deal per se. I mean, not like the end of the world, but I just think it's kind of weird how like it's not even like the end of the album. It's like you know second to last song because it falls in between the Chris Brown feature I Love You and Grandma skit. So it's not necessarily like the final track. It's not like the bonus, but it's just kind of interesting how it's not even on there. Anyway, but this album is just kind of like filled with so many features. Skrillex, Future, and I think the most surprising feature on here is Lil Uzi Vert. I mean, when I was on Vinyl Plays, just sampling the songs, just sampling the album in general, not listening to the whole thing, but just kind of like getting a taste of what the album is. I was super surprised that Lil Uzi Vert is on there, and it's unlike like the Bad and Bougie feature. I mean, in fact, it kind of fits like with the style that they're going for. Like, and most appropriately, the song title is called um, Uzi Gang. And it's just kind of like Uzi Gang, get it right. I don't for some reason I can't really say the lyric or how it goes per se, but I mean considering the album is kind of like 2 years old, and if you still hadn't heard it, well, go ahead and listen to it. Actually, this is my first, not my first time listening to it because I listened to it over like a few weeks, but you know, anyway, so I would say like he uses a lot of skits, just kind of like how a lot of southern rappers do, like Ti, Scarface, things of that nature. But the way he does it is kind of like he gives you a view on his life. And in fact, I think on this album he talked a lot about his family, and basically gives you an idea of where it comes from, and the people that he hangs around with, and especially with Hangry Ham, which is reference to Hamilton Heights. It's just like, I mean, because with that song with featuring Skrillex, it's more like a hype up song. It's Hungry Ham, Hungry Ham, it's really a hype up song. It's kind of unlike Wild for the Night, because it's just Wild for the Night. I mean, it still features Skrillex, but it just has a different vibe to it, and that's what's interesting. Um, Hold on, I've been holding on to this chip for the past few minutes. When I get to talking, I just completely forget I have a chip in my hand. Anyway, so like I said, the usage of skit, like he gives you a view, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like it doesn't throw off the album that bad. Where it's like, you know, it's not like the skits are like a minute or so, and it's just like kind of awkward. Like, I mean, no offense to anybody, but when I heard in Kendrick Lamar's Good Kid, Mad City, and just heard like the phone call. To me it just seemed kind of awkward. I mean, I know like it must have fit. That's why he put it there. But it just seemed kind of like you're listening to something and then it just completely take your attention and it focuses on something else, and then after this shit is done, it just like refocuses. It doesn't really work out that way in this album. It just kind of like it flows all together, you know. And another thing I get from this vibe on this album is like ASAP Ferg is he feels like a most positive rapper there is out there, and kind of ironic, like he doesn't get a lot of attention. Maybe it's just me, but it just kind of feels like just put on the back burner a little bit, just kind of like you know like ASAP Rocky is doing this thing, and you're just kind of like the second guy that's there. Don't. I mean, I'm not trying to downplay his success, but it just kind of like You know, because a lot of people, you know, pay attention to ASAP Rocky because of what he's doing, like fashion wise, and he just kind of like just doing everything. Well, ASAP Ferg is like, just kind of like the second command in the ASAP mob world, you know. And that's pretty much it with kind of like the whole general thoughts about the album. And another thing I kind of wanted to add on to Damn a little bit because the first time I listened to it, I was actually doing homework and I wasn't really like paying attention too much to the lyrics. Maybe not as much as I wanted to, but the second time I listened to it, I actually read the lyrics, and I know it's like cause she said like before the album was actually released, the album is gonna be more about God and stuff like that. And what's interesting though is like there's some songs that just sound like a complete nihilistic view on the world and just kind of like just I'm not saying necessarily saying pessimistic or whatever, but there's a line that says some along the lines of you know on my last album like you really want to like uplift black artists, but there's a difference between black artists and whack artists. And I just thought it was like a perfect kind of jab at like I mean, like he doesn't really say names, but it's kind of implied on kind of like who he's exactly talking about. And from my view, it sounds like he's talking about the freshman class of last year and a lot of these kind of mumble rappers that are out, which is kind of ironic though because in his set in Coachella, he bought out Future, but I wouldn't really call him a mumble rapper per se. I mean, he kind of. I mean, to me, there's like kind of a difference. It's kind of like but it depends. Like there's so many perspectives on it anyway. Um, and it just but I heard this one idea, a theory or whatever, that since that album was released on Good Friday, there would be a second album on Easter Sunday, kind of like he died and the resurrection and shit. But my theory is, it to me it sounds like he's in purgatory, because of all this crazy uh, this crazy, I guess, post-apocalyptic view that he painted in that album. You know, that if you pay attention to it, though, the first line of the album and the last line of the album, it's like it kind of repeats itself. So in that respect, it's kind of like when the album ends, it begins all over again. So that's what I mean. It's in kind of purgatory. It's always in a loop. Like his character dies at the beginning of the album, and then he goes through all this shit, and then especially in the last album, where it's like it's kind of like this long story about like you know, him and Punch, the President TD, knew each other back a long time ago, and then it's like due to circumstances of events, like he was almost gonna kill Kendrick or whatever, and they're sorry, kind of like lost the breath, but fast forward to like so many years today, like if he had did what he had to do, then there wouldn't be TD where it is, and that's kind of interesting though. Yeah, so that's pretty much my thoughts and shit about Damn, and kind of like an elaboration, I guess, because I said what I needed to say in the last review. I just kind of like added on. So that's pretty much it for the video. I know I said a lot, and it's nearing 10 minutes, but once I start talking, there's no stop for me, I guess. So that's pretty much it. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about it. Please have more people watching this, and thanks for all my subscribers. Watch all my videos and whatever. You know who you are. So yeah. Yeah. So I'm pretty much out for this video, and see you with another video. And I'm out like the Flash. Yeah.